At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger here. You are watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 6:30. It is Thursday, March 21st. Get ready for another beautiful day. You know, temperatures have been dropping. You may have noticed a little bit chillier yesterday. You'll be noticing even more so for today. But we've got one more dry and mild day before that changes, because we've got showers and cooler weather by Friday. That's tomorrow. Now, once that once that pattern sets in, we are going to be looking at a cool and settled weather pattern that will continue well into next week, if not all of next week. And by the way, snow levels, they're going to start off very high tomorrow, 5,000 to 6,000 feet. Won't have very big impacts on your mountain travel, but of course over the higher mountain passes. But as we go into Friday night and into Saturday, that's when the snow levels could drop down to as low as 3,000 feet, but probably closer to around 3,500 feet on average. This is when it could start having some impacts on your travel. Is this a major series of storms heading away? No, but we're going to notice a lot more rain, a lot more snow out there as well, making its way into the forecast. Good morning to you, Lisa. Good morning to Ruth. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We've got our current temperatures out there this morning at 50 degrees. Out in Redding, we've got 39 degrees in Shingletown. How about Alturas? About 31 degrees. Susanville, 37. And there you can see Quincy, about 34 degrees. Redway, about 47. And out along the coast, upper 40s to even some mid-50s. 54 degrees for Crescent City and 49 degrees right now in Eureka. Good morning to you, Casey. Good morning from Shingletown. Some of my regular viewers tuning in this morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. There you can see your visibility is down to a mile in some cases here. We might be looking at a little bit of fog for some of us in Trinity County. Now, there are some low clouds out there along the coast here, but you can see the visibility is pretty good. We're not seeing as much in the way of cloud cover, even along the coast, as we've seen here over the last few days. This is kind of really focusing on some of the low clouds, this image, this satellite image that you're seeing here. So again, we're just not seeing as much. In fact, we've been watching it dissipating here as the next storm system approaches, believe it or not. Take a look at Crescent City right now. If you kind of look off in the distance there, you can see a little bit of that light with some of the clearing in the skies there. Of course, the mostly cloudy skies out there this morning in Crescent City at Harbor District. Let's take a look at, well, right now we're looking at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. And yeah, you can kind of see some of the breaks in the clouds there. Again, this is an indication of a lot of the fog that we've seen the last few days is starting to kind of break apart. And we're going to be looking at probably more breaks in the clouds, I think, today for the coast than we've seen over the last few days. So that looks pretty good there. Taking out to Main Street, Chico, and there you can see it looks like the sanitation truck making a right turn there. But looks like it's going to be another one of those days where, you know, we'll probably see some clouds out there, even for the valley. Just not a lot. Temperatures will be cooler. There's Highway 99 at Neal Road. You can see traffic is running smoothly there. And unfortunately, we don't have a moving picture for Highway 44 at Sundale Bridge Drive, but there you can see, of course, traffic looks like it's running smoothly there as well. And off in the distance there at the top of the picture, you can see the sun is beginning to come out. Yes, the sun is getting out earlier and earlier these days. So you can clearly see the clouds that we saw move through yesterday. In fact, some of those clouds produced a few light showers. Now, most of those showers, at least any measurable rain, was west of the valley. Trinity County, Del Norte Humboldt counties, western Siskiyou County, where there were reports of a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall once all was said and done. So yeah, we got to see a little bit of wet weather out there for some of us yesterday, but it didn't amount to much. It wasn't very impressive, but it's the sign of things to come. You notice the big batch of clouds kind of there in the center of your screen on the left there. That is, of course, the next storm system that is approaching. And that's what's going to bring us the next chance for rain. So let's take a look at Futurecast. So today, Yeah, we're seeing the clouds decrease this morning, but they'll probably start to increase, especially for the mountains and the coast through the afternoon. Still plenty of sunshine. I think we'll see some passing high clouds for the valley. Shouldn't be a completely sunny day out there, but still kind of the calm before the storm, if you will. And that's through the day today. Then late tonight, tomorrow morning, there it is. There's the approaching cold front. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. The rain is just beginning to approach the coast. So you'll begin to notice early tomorrow morning some of those showers hitting the coast, but everyone else still looking pretty dry. Now we take it about 7 a.m. on Friday. You can see the rain just beginning to hit the valley, or trying to at least. Most of the rain is just to the west-northwest of the valley. So you can see that thin but heavier band of rain over Trinity County, western Siskiyou County. Now that dark blue that you see there, that's snow, but that's mainly above 6,000 feet. So Scott Mountain Pass, you might start to see some snow at this point by tomorrow morning, but mainly in the form of rain for really most of the mountain locations at this point. Then we take into about the noon hour, and there, of course, you can see that wet weather as it kind of kicks itself off to the east. So it looks like sometime in the mid-morning hours is when we'll start to see some of the heaviest rainfall for the valley. And by the way, there could be some isolated thunderstorms embedded in here, and not to mention the potential for some gusty winds. But notice the snow, still fairly high, probably 5,000 to 6,000 feet. All right, that's what it looks like today. There's your severe outlook for tomorrow. Yeah, a chance for thunderstorms. And how about your Saturday? A chance for thunderstorms continue. Now Sunday, most likely that won't be the case here, but certainly something worth watching. Winter storm impacts for today, of course, not so much, right? So if you have travel plans, today is really going to be the best day for it. By tomorrow, there you can start to see, we're beginning to see more impacts. But look at I-5, look at Highway 299 West, look at Highway 299 East, really not that very big of impacts. However, you head over the higher elevations of Highway 44, 36, 32, 70, for example, Highway 89, you start seeing the potential for more of that snow, because by the time we get into Saturday, this is when snow levels will be down to approximately 3,000 to 4,000 feet, probably closer to 3,500 feet. So notice on I-5, you're kind of in that limited category. So yes, there's a chance we could see some snow on the highway there, but I think it'll be light enough and won't be, it's going to be kind of a mix at that point, really. It wouldn't get down to about 3,000, 3,500 feet. So probably not looking at any chain requirements on I-5, but it may get its a little slick at times. But 299 West looks okay. But 299 East, yeah, you're starting to see, especially on Hatchet Mountain, on, Cedar Pass, the potential Highway 139 in Modoc County. And of course, not to mention, you head into the higher mountain passes of Highway 44, basically east of I-5. All right, so those are things to kind of look at here over the next few days if you do have mountain travel. So here's what it looks like today. Temperatures in the mid-60s for Trinity County. You do have that chance for rain entering the picture by tomorrow. But today, yes, one last day to prep for the storm. Make sure your gutters are clear. Make sure the street gutters are clear as well, so we don't have any kind of street flooding. You can see your North Coast forecast down to the south. You can see 63 degrees for Garberville, 55 degrees in Shelter Cove, and 64 degrees in Red Crest. Ferndale, a high of 63. 63 for Hydesville, 61 out in Rio Dell, and Fortuna, about 63 degrees. We take you up north, 61 for McKinleyville, as well as Arcata, 63 in Blue Lake. Looks like Willow Creek, a high of 70. Again, get out there and enjoy this beautiful dry day, because when you look at those 7-day forecasts, boy, you see a lot of wet weather in the forecast, don't you? And that's because there is going to be a lot of wet weather. But one thing I will mention, as we look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast here, is it's not going to be downpours the entire time. It's going to be off and on. It's going to be that type of rain that we like to see, where we see some rain, we get a break, we see more rain, we get a break. And of course, in the mountains, we see snow, get a break, see snow, get a break. But you can see they're starting off fairly high, 6,000 feet tomorrow, and then 3,500 feet by the weekend, slowly getting back up to about 4,000 feet and higher by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Your central eastern Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, 55 degrees for Tennant, 59 for Tule Lake, McLeod, 59 in Mount Shasta City, a high of about 60. How about Modoc County? There you can see 60 out in Newell today, 60 for Fort Bidwell, 59 in Cedarville and Alturas, a high of about 62 degrees. Taking to the eastern mountains, where you've got Hat Creek, about 60 degrees, 56 degrees for Old Station, and Montgomery Creek, about 61. How about Lake Elminor? Chester at about 60 degrees. Lake Elminor Peninsula, about 58 degrees, and Canyon Dam, about 57. And for the park, Maybe you're heading out there, maybe do some snowshoeing. Should be a good day for it with 44 degrees out at Summit Lake. Eastern Mountains to the south, Paradise 64, 57 degrees for Mineral, 59 in Greenville, and Doyle about 65 degrees. And your valley neighborhood forecast, 69 degrees for Elk Creek, 71 for Durham, and 70 out in Los Molinos. Take you up north with Lakehead, about 63 degrees, 69 for Palo Cedro, Whiskeytown, 64 degrees. And looking at your 7-day outlook for Redding, well, you got the chance for thunderstorms tomorrow and Saturday. And I think really the better chances may actually be on Saturday, because if we get enough of that daytime heating, the clearing that we see for the first part of the day, that's what we call the convective thunderstorms. The heat rises into the colder air aloft, and that's where you start to see more instability, more thunderstorms. But the chances are certainly going to be there, especially along that cold front on Friday. Then we just go into a cool and unsettled weather pattern for Sunday through at least the middle of next week. And now it's looking like through the end of next week and even into that next weekend. So this is going to be a pattern that is going to be around for quite a while. So if you have outdoor plans, you definitely need to keep a close eye on Weather NorCal to keep you updated with everything, and so you can make those plans here as you go through the rest of the week. By the way, I want to show you something here. I'm going to go to, because we were just looking at the neighborhood forecast. I want to show you a couple of things, because this is something I think might be underutilized, and one of the things I really take pride in here at Weather NorCal. I want to show you here, and I'm going to go up to the green screen so I can really illustrate it better. I'm going to try to make this, maybe make it look a little bit bigger, but if you look here, that's not what I want. What? Oh, that kind of confused me there. But you look into the neighborhoods. So you go to the neighborhoods right here. You got 6 different neighborhoods, and you can very easily find out what's going on in your neighborhood. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to scroll it down, and we are going to take a look at a really cool interactive map. So if you scroll down here, this is an interactive map here. So here are all the 6 different neighborhoods that you've got here: the Valley, Trinity County, the North Coast, which includes the inland areas, Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains. These are 6 different microclimates, if you will, and different neighborhoods to really help you. If you live in any of these neighborhoods, you can get a specific forecast for your area, including 7-day forecast, that is, planners, and I'm planning to expand it even more as far as the available maps that we'll have here. It's going to take a little time, but we'll certainly make that happen. But this is really something that I think is underutilized, and I think a lot of people could use. So for example, let's tap on the Valley. Okay, so look what happens. It pops up. You've got your planners right here. You've got your planners. I don't need to really go to the screen here anymore, but you've got your planners for Chico, Red Bluff, and Redding. You've got the maps that we were just looking at, right? You can see the highs for today for the north end of the valley, for south end of the valley here, and then you've got your 7-day forecasts for Chico, Red Bluff, and Redding. Now, again, let's say you're right here and you're like, well, I want to check out what's going on in the North Coast. Well, easy. Just go right up here. See where my little clicker is? See right there? Click on North Coast. Now it's going to take you to the North Coast. You got Crescent City, Eureka, Hoopa, and Willow Creek. Your planner's there. This updates every hour, by the way. So see how it says 6 a.m. at 7 a.m. in the next hour? It'll start at 7 a.m. But here you can see the regional forecast. Again, the maps we were just looking at during the forecast there it is right there at your earliest convenience. So if you happen to miss my forecast, or you don't have any time to watch the video forecast and you want to know what it's going to be like in Redway, well, there it is. And you can click on these and get a bigger image of it as well. And of course, you can get the 7-day forecast, Eureka, Crescent City, Hoopa. And again, I plan on maybe expanding these maps, especially maybe the 7-day forecast, and not to mention the planners. So I really wanted to kind of illustrate that, because again, I think it's something that might be a little underutilized, and I'd like to see everyone use this and use what Weather NorCal has to offer to your advantage, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you and give you the best source of weather information. Tell your friends, tell your family. More and more people are discovering this. I run into people on a regular basis, but this is good because I can send them the information, tell them what I'm doing, they're excited about it, then they tell their friends, they tell their family. So it's expanding, it's growing, and I want more people to discover what a great resource that we have here at our disposal. I think it's fantastic that we have this here. Let's take a look, check in and see what everybody's up to here this morning. Yeah, a lot of people coming in here. Good morning from Shingletown, Lake Macomber. How much snow do you think Lake Macomber will get? Right now, it's kind of a little too early to tell. I don't anticipate a ton of snow as we head into some of those lower mountain communities, but I think you could pick up 6 to 12 inches of snow. But again, keep in mind too, this is going to be spread throughout over a week, so we got to kind of keep that in mind. Good morning from Jay. Good morning there. Good morning, clear and cool in Red Bluff. Good morning to you, Mike, to all of your Coffee with Krueger followers. Today is a great day, and by the way, I want to remind you that Don and Heather are doing something really awesome today, and that is a radiothon that they've got going on here. Check this out. They're doing the St. Jude, that is, radiothon, and this is for today and tomorrow. And you can call the number there on your screen, or you can listen to them on 104.3 K Shasta, and you can get more information about it. Be sure to tell them if you're calling in and you're talking to someone locally at K Shasta, tell them Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal sent you. I'd love to see if we can help them get more donations for this great cause that they are doing here. A little bit of other information here. I got some great information from Heather, and she said they can pledge to be a partner in hope, and if they tell the operator they can do that, then they can also, you can text Jude, so Jude, text Jude 785-833. So there you go. You can check out all of that great information there, and be sure to check that out. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of give some of my radio partners a little bit of love out there and help them out. And of course, just help out St. Jude in general, right? I think that's a great cause that they've got going on there. So that's really awesome. Good morning. Love the weather in West Reading. Just hope we can get Easter egg hunt in. I think so. We'll see though. I mean, because yeah, it is, the chances for rain will extend probably to the end of the month. So we'll see. As we get closer to Easter, we'll get a better idea what's going to happen with those Easter egg hunts, right? So we got to start thinking about that. I know that's coming soon here, right? Are you going to have a lighting map on the website? Or a lightning map? I think maybe you mean lightning. Well, no, there's not necessarily a map, although I'm gonna look into that. That's a good idea. I'm writing these little notes that I like to do. Lightning map, because I think I might be able to do that. But that being said, the radar that you get on your that you get at the website. So let's go to the website here real quickly. I'll show you. Let's take it home, and you can go to the radar. Now the radar should have on there, and I'll have to next time there's lightning, I'll have to see if the lightning shows up on this particular map. And by the way, if you're on this, you should be able to, maybe not. Yeah, you can expand it into the full screen. And let's see if you can, no, it doesn't. So we'll see. That'd be interesting if it has lightning. I don't know. I do know that the app on the phone does show lightning, and it will actually warn you on the app if you have any lightning that's within your area. That's a really cool feature. So if there's lightning that strikes near you, you'll get a notification on your app that, hey, lightning just struck near you, take cover type of thing. So kind of a cool safety feature there. So yeah, I just wanted to, but as of right now, no, to answer your question, I do not have a specific map for just lightning. But certainly sounds interesting, and see if we can maybe utilize that. Good morning from Rosa. Good morning, Michelle. How you doing? Glad everyone could join us this morning. Good morning in beautiful Cottonwood. Beautiful everywhere, right? Cottonwood is beautiful. Reading is beautiful. Anderson's beautiful. All of NorCal is beautiful. Why do you think I stayed here? I mean, I could have left, right? I've been here for 25 plus years. I didn't want to, because I love it here so much. This has become my home, and I love it here. I just absolutely love it. I mean, I think about the time that I've spent here. I've at least spent about half of my lifetime here in Northern California. I love it. I'm glad I ended up here, without a doubt. All right, you know what today is? Today is Thursday. Thursday. You say, well, why Why are you pointing out that it's Thursday? Well, first of all, it's dessert night for me. I'm excited about that. I allow myself sugar. Let me just say a nice little binge of sugar, a small binge on Thursday, because it's hard. There's usually sugar around the house, and it's hard to avoid it completely, but I take little snips here and there, but not a ton. But it's also Thursday. I go into these tangents sometimes, I tell you what. It's also Thursday, which also means that we have got our NorCal Ag Report, which is sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. Now, remember last week, Jerry O'Lennon, who is new to Weather NorCal, he's going to be helping with these ag reports, and hopefully this expands into something that he can do more for Weather NorCal as well. Not necessarily in the weather spectrum, but kind of in the aspect of reporting around the community. But for now, we're starting him off with doing a couple of NorCal ag reports. Last week, he talked with a winemaker out at New Clairvaux, and this week, he is actually speaking with a monk and what their role is in the wine making process. So here is your NorCal Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery.
Hello everyone, I'm Jerry O'Lennon with Weather NorCal, and you're watching the Ag Report sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. I am in Vina at the Abbey of New Clairvaux, where among other things, they make wine. I'm with one of the monks, Brother Francis, here in the vineyard at New Clairvaux. Thank you for being with us, brother.
Thank you.
What is it that the monks do? What role do they have in the making of the wine?
Well, we help, first we do cleaning the vineyard, and during harvest time we help, pick grape, and we help to do the pressing, another work we do in the winery. Right. So we participate a lot of.
You're a vital part of this process.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've seen monks in the wine tasting room do serving some wine. Do you enjoy doing that?
Yeah, all of us every Saturday, every weekend we have one brother to. Is it too early to tell what the crop is going to look like? Right now, as we're taping, it's mid-March, basically, early March. When will you start to know how the vineyards are going to look? Yes, I think I would say that maybe in June or July we will know how much we will have the harvest.
Is this type of labor? Is this something that's important to the monastery, to the monks, to your mission? To do the hard work of picking grapes and doing the field work, is that important in your mission?
Yes, I think so. I think that it's one of part of our life and our manual labor. And
do you take great pride in the product that you help make?
I don't know so much about, but it's usually that Amy and people in winery they determine that about that. So.
Well, they're got to be pleased with your work, aren't they?
Yeah. We think about monastic life, think about the spirituality, so it encourages us to do the work that we enjoy. With joy.
Brother Francis, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that'll wrap it up. This has been the Ag Report. We'll see you next time on Weather NorCal.
Well, I want to thank Lassen Canyon Nursery for their sponsorship of the NorCal Ag Report. So thank them. Next time you come across them, anyone who is involved with Lassen Canyon Nursery, I'm sure they appreciate to hear that you recognize the fact that they are the sponsor, and certainly I appreciate their support of Weather NorCal, and of course the NorCal Ag Report. It is a fun thing, and really I think it's something that's been underserved as far as the reporting of the agriculture in our area, and I'm hoping that this NorCal Ag Report can something that can really take off and do well in the future. It is 6:54 in the morning, and we're just checking in to see how everyone's doing this morning, and everyone, saying good morning, and I love all that stuff, and people also wondering what it's going to be like for those Easter egg hunts as we get closer and closer to Easter. A little too early to tell at this point here, but we are certainly looking at the potential of some wet weather on Easter Sunday. But hey, you know what? That's just this time of the year, right? I think we'll take the rain. I mean, the rain is a good thing, I think. It is. We all know that. Let's take a look at some of the images that some of you have sent in, and I want to thank everyone for using the Weather NorCal app to share your photos. That's the best way to do it, easiest way to do it. And it's easiest for me to share your photos as well because it goes right into my computer. But this is the sunset in Redding last night. Of course, this is to be expected when you start seeing more of those clouds, right? You get those beautiful sunsets. This is in West Redding. I want to thank Jenna Lee for sending in this image. We take a look now, and a sunset in Anderson, not too far to the south there. Beautiful. Look, that must be the Sacramento River. This is courtesy of Garrett. Whew. Man, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, right? We live in such a beautiful area, especially when you get those beautiful sunsets as well. This is out of the North Jetty in Eureka Bay, also with the ocean off in the distance there. This is courtesy of Tony Parkins. So just kind of another perspective. I mean, we have so many different beautiful areas. You've got the valley, you've got the mountains, you've got the foothills, you've got the ocean. I mean, so many beautiful areas. So I want to thank Tony Parkins for sending in this image. And it's been a while since David has sent in an image here, but this is courtesy of David Hoffman between Red Bluff and Corning. I'm assuming on I-5. And what we're looking at here, and it may not even be I-5. It could even be Highway 99. But anyway, you look at, well, no, probably Red Bluff and Corning. It would have to be I-5. But anyway, it looks like we're doing it looks like they're doing some crop dusting there on some of the fields. So just kind of helping to keep that moving along. All right, let's take a look at, of course, how you can share images. If you're looking at this, go, hey, how do I share my picture? It's very easy. You go to the Weather NorCal app, and if you don't have it already, first question is why not? If you've been watching for a while, you should know that it's very easy to download. Just go to your app store on your iPhone or the Google Play Store on your Android. Search for Weather NorCal. From there, you can download the app for free, and then at the very bottom of the app, you can share your photos there. So be sure to check that out. I encourage everyone to check it out. All right, everyone. We are getting ready to get the forecast for you. Usually, if there's not a ton going on with the weather and we don't have a ton of chat going on here, but we have some chat. People kind of chiming in here this morning. We got, looks like some new ones here too. Coming in from Rose. Good morning to you. And of course, just good morning to everybody. We certainly appreciate that. So Sandra saying, thank you, Mike, for being our weatherman. Well, you bet. I'm glad to be your weatherman. I'm glad and honored to have been the weatherman here for about 25 years now. And we're going to keep going. I'm going to continue to be your weatherman. You know, I remember over the years, people always saying, like, when are you going to leave us? See, the good ones always leave us and all that, right? Well, I don't want to leave. I never did want to leave. And that's why I'm so happy and just feel blessed to be the source, the best source of weather information for you. And as I mentioned, keep this growing. Help me to keep this growing. It is growing. There's nothing we can do at this point to stop it. It's growing, but you can help it grow faster by sharing this link to a live image to all your friends. Say, hey, look what my Krueger is doing in the mornings. Check it out. You want to know what to expect as you're heading out the door in the morning? Watch Coffee with Krueger in the morning with Mike. So yeah, this is a great way to help it grow. Good morning to Paula. She's saying good morning. Jeff Johnson is also saying good morning. And Terry, good morning to you as well. Thank you all so much for checking in this morning. Well, we're getting ready to get out. Oh yeah, we're about a minute away from 7 o'clock here. So let's get ready for that forecast. You know, because maybe some of you are like, I want to kind of check in on the forecast at about 7 o'clock to see what's going on. You can do that. And of course, you can watch from Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, the works. You can do all that. But just want to remind you that we do have sponsors here at Weather NorCal. And one of our sponsors is Wind River Resort and Casino. And they sponsor Coffee with Krueger. So at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, let's get you right to it. Take a look at your current condition, actually your weather headlines out there. And that is going to, of course, show that we have one more day of dry and mild conditions. One more day. I'm loving it, right? You got showers and cooler weather though by tomorrow. And I got to tell you, once this wet weather pattern sets in, it's going to stick around for a while. And it's not going to be like just ongoing rainfall for 7 days, but it's going to be off and on rain. And I think that first push of rain as we go into tomorrow will be the heaviest. And then maybe sometime mid next week, maybe some heavy rainfall coming in as well. But snow levels will start off fairly high tomorrow, 5,000 to 6,000 feet, lowering to as low as 3,000 feet, but probably on average around 3,500 feet. As I mentioned, this will continue well into next week, if not all of next week. All right, so take a look at the current conditions out there right now. We're looking at upper 40s, low 50s in the valley, 36 degrees out in Susanville, 27 for Altura. So pretty chilly in some of those areas, especially where we do have those clear skies. But if you have even just that little bit of cloud cover, that's enough to kind of insulate you a little bit, keep those temperatures up, like Mount Shasta at about 42. 36 for Weaverville, and out along the coast, upper 40s, even some mid-50s, 54 degrees right now in Crescent City. So this is the cloud cover right here. See, that's actually a weak storm system. This was the first storm in a while that was finally able to kind of break through the ridge of high pressure that's been over us. That ridge that's been over us has been giving us the sunny skies, giving us the warm temperatures. But that ridge of high pressure is finally pretty much gone. It's weakening as we speak. We have just a little bit, you'll notice kind of a little bit in the arc clouds right here. That's the very weak ridge of high pressure. But this storm system right here finally barreled through that ridge, breaking it down even more. And what that did is not only bring us some cloud cover and a few light showers. There were some reports, just especially north and west of the valley, of a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall. So it wasn't very significant. But what that's doing is it is kind of laying the tracks for this system right here, laying that foundation. Because this storm system is the one that is going to bring us heavier rainfall, gusty winds, and not to mention snow in the higher elevations. So let's take a look at Futurecast, walk you through the timing of it all. So as we take it through the day today, we see a little bit of clearing by noon. So plenty of sunshine, I think, for the valley. But we're beginning to see some of those puffy cumulus clouds develop in the higher elevations. You'll probably notice that from the valley, kind of looking off in the distance in the mountains, you'll see some of those puffy cumulus clouds developing. All right, and then for the coast, we actually may see some spots of clearing as well. But then going through the afternoon, we start to see those clouds begin to get a little bit bigger. Start to see more of those puffy cumulus clouds in the mountains. We may even see some spreading clouds into the valley as well, mainly in the form of some high clouds though. And then looks like a little bit more in the way of cloud cover coming in later this afternoon, but still dry. But that's changing. By tomorrow morning, there's that cold front. Now, this is actually a pretty thin band of rain. So it's going to push through. You'll feel the impacts as far as moderate to heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and maybe even some small hail. There could be some embedded lightning strikes in here as well. Okay, and then we're going to take you into about 8 a.m. Here again is that main band of rain right here. You can see it's just beginning to hit the north end of the valley, but not quite for Chico and Oroville at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice snow levels too, 5,000 to 6,000 feet. So really, I'd say the biggest impact as far as travel is concerned at this point will be the wet roads, and you'll need to take it easy. But also maybe Scott Mountain Pass on Highway 3. I mean, you're getting up there pretty high in elevation. You might be looking at some snow up there at this point for your Friday morning. But look at the east. I mean, it's still dry at this point. So still dry for Friday morning. Friday at 10 a.m., now that main band of rain is over pretty much the entire valley. Still looking at some moderate to heavy rainfall, gusty winds, maybe the potential for a few lightning strikes. Snow levels still fairly high. You have to go above 5,000, 6,000 feet before you start seeing that snow. But we're kind of on the back edge of it now at this point for the coast. Cold and unstable air is now in place there. That will bring the potential for scattered showers and maybe some thunderstorms for Friday morning. So by 10 a.m. Friday morning, the heaviest rainfall is behind you on the coast. But by 10 a.m. Friday, you haven't even seen anything yet for Modoc County, Lassen County, or even Plumas County. That's 10 a.m. on Friday. Now let's take you into the noon hour. Now it's pushing eastward. Bernie, you're starting to see some of the heavier rainfall. Snow still 5,000 to 6,000 feet. But now we're in that cold and unstable air in the valley. Thunderstorms are a possibility even at the noon hour. Cold and unstable air for the valley, westward. But look at this. Alturas, Susanville, still by noon tomorrow, you're still probably looking at dry conditions. But then going through the afternoon, now we've got that cold front pushing through the eastern mountains at this point. Cold and unstable air behind it, showers, thunderstorms, basically to the west of the eastern mountains. Snow levels still high, 5,000 to 6,000 feet. But notice now we're not really seeing that widespread rain. And this is going to be the trend for the weekend and going through a good portion of next week. It's going to be that situation where you see some clearing skies by midnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. But then that changes as the next round begins to move in. Showers and thunderstorms are a possibility Friday night, Saturday morning as that cold and unstable air moves in. Now we're seeing lower snow levels. Look at I-5 around Mount Shasta City. You're seeing the potential for snow on Highway 89, the potential for snow. But on Highway 299, most likely in the form of rain. We could see maybe a little bit of a mix, maybe a little bit of snow on Buckhorn Summit on Highway 299 Saturday morning. But of course, it goes without saying, mountains east of I-5 most likely seeing those chain requirements. Now we take into Saturday around noon. Showers, thunderstorms, maybe some thunderstorms for the coast as well. Snow levels still about 3,000 to 4,000 feet. My tie's doing all kinds of weird, funky stuff. Let me fix that for you. Now it looks better. Okay. That look better? All right, not as funky anymore. All right, but we still have that snow around 3,000 to 4,000 feet by noon on Saturday. So again, we're just starting off the weekend with that. Now, you see that spin, so we got that trough low pressure right on top of us. That's really where we're seeing a good amount of instability. And if we get enough clearing, breaks in those clouds where we can see some daylight and some sunshine to heat up the surface and then really even destabilize the atmosphere even more, better chance for thunderstorms popping up for your Saturday as well. But snow levels still around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. Now, let's take a look at the forecast rain totals. Now, as the thing is that the main front passes through, yes, you have a pretty good potential of looking at some heavy rainfall. But once we get past that, these numbers, they kind of start to move all over the place. Because when you've got scattered activity out there, you can't really know exactly for sure where most of the rain is going to be. So really, when you look at these numbers, you can't say specifically for each location where it's all going to be. But what we can do is say, all right, you know what? I think most of the rain will be the north and on the east side of the valley, but a little less rainfall as you head into the central portions of the valley. And that's typical, especially around Red Bluff and Willows, because we tend to be more shadowed by the rain in the central part of the valley. But we start to see more rain developing the north end of the valley, and sometimes even the east side of the valley, as we see a little bit more of that upward lift near the mountains there. But there you can see, of course, it looks like we're getting close to 3/4 of an inch in Trinity County, and yeah, a lot of rainfall making its way to the coast, but not as much off to the north and to the east. Now, there is a winter storm watch for Friday through Saturday night, where we could see 1 to 2 feet of snow, mainly above 5,000 feet, and up to 3 feet of snow over some of those higher mountain peaks. So yes, we're seeing a good amount of snow, but again, you have to go pretty high in elevation for that. But even when you're seeing snow of 1 to 2 feet at 5,000 feet, that's some of the mountain passes. So you do need to be aware of that as you're heading east of I-5 with that potential for that snow. All right, so there you can see we're going to take you through Saturday afternoon. Mount Shasta City, sure. I think maybe you could see maybe some light accumulating snow. I think it might be overdoing it. The snow levels are kind of right there at the borderline of where Mount Shasta City is. So this is where it gets tricky, right? If we can get that air cold enough and we can get that that snow low enough, that is, then it's not out of the question to see 2 to 4 inches of snow for Mount Shasta City. However, if you're looking at more of a mix, that's going to be hard pressed. But places like Chester, yeah, you're at 4,500 feet. I think you've got better chances of seeing that. But of course, for Weaverville, nope, not even a mix. It's going to be all in the form of rain, and that's also the case for Hayfork. Again, this is where things get tricky. And this is where having my years of experience can really help you. Because, and for those of you who live in the area too, right? So I don't even think we're going to see a mix in Weaverville and Hayfork. The snow levels would just be too high. So the forecast models can sometimes have a difficult time with that. And that's why it's showing, all right, there's a potential for it. No, it's not going to happen. That's why we've got to look at this and go, all right, let's look at this a little bit more closely and really try to figure out what's going on with that. All right, so let's take a look at the active weather over the Pacific. And yes, it's very active. You're looking at the West Coast, You're looking way over here and you got Japan. All this activity is moving in our direction. This is going to be what I call a parade of storms that's heading our way. And, you know, this is a long ways out. It's going to take several days before it gets here, but this energy is moving in our direction. And as a result, we see that rain. So, remember I was talking about that weak ridge? So this is a very weak ridge that's in place right now. That's the reason why we're seeing a little bit of clearing behind the main storm system that's now up to our north and east that moved through us yesterday. This ridge was a lot stronger the last few days, which is why we saw sunny skies, warmer temperatures. That ridge has weakened. It's basically going to be disappearing here soon. And that flow is allowing us to get right within that flow over that next storm system. So that's for Friday and Saturday. Of course, we looked at Futurecast kind of closer and more looking at the timeline here for Friday. So this is just kind of a more general sense. As we're looking into Friday and Saturday, that rain and not to mention snow begins to move in. And then Sunday, a little bit of a lull in the activity late in the day on Sunday, but still, we're within that flow. We're still seeing some of that activity. And then you see one disturbance here for Monday. You see this disturbance right here? That's going to be moving right into Northern California by Tuesday and Wednesday, right? And then this one right here, coming in towards the end of next week into that next weekend. So again, that's that parade of storms I was talking about, one after another moving in. This is through the end of this month. All right, so we take a look at how much rain, and again, I don't like to show totals when we're looking this far out, but this shows a good footprint of what we can expect through Wednesday. Heaviest rain will be in northern Shasta County, southern Siskiyou County, the foothills and mountains just east of the valley, and not to mention along the north coast. That's your typical footprint for storms like this, right? And then, of course, we see less here where we've got the rain shadow. But around Redding through Wednesday, I mean, it's showing upwards of around, say, 1 to even 2 inches of rain. Definitely not out of the question. I think that's the case also for Chico. But for Red Bluff, I think you're closer to, say, maybe a half an inch to an inch once all is said and done. So again, this is going all the way through next Wednesday. So when you look at this, you go, wow, look at all of that rain. Keep in mind, this is spread out 7 days. So it's going to take 7 days for us to see this amount of rainfall. And that's why I really don't anticipate there to be really any problems with flooding, mudslides, debris flows, the works, right? But it's something we have to certainly watch for, especially when we start seeing some of the heavier downpours. So, above normal rainfall, very good chance. Below normal temperatures, very good chance. We've got that cooler air, which is starting to move in as well. So here's a look at your wave heights. There you can see upwards around 7 feet for today. There are no advisories for today, but there will be a small corrective advisory that will take effect this evening into tomorrow. Why? Well, look at those wave heights. They're beginning to increase with the approaching storm system on Friday. So here's the marine forecast. South winds at 5 to 15 knots. There you can see your sunrise and your sunset. And as I mentioned, no alerts today. But this evening, there will be a small correct advisory, and that'll probably continue into your Friday. So here's what it looks like for today. Temperatures around 70, give or take for the valley. 60s, low 60s, upper 50s, low 60s for the mountains. Mid 60s for Trinity County. Upper 60s, low 70s. Basically what we're going to see in the valley here for the inland areas, and in the upper 50s to low 60s out along the coast. Here's your 7-day forecast for the valley. We take a look at your neighborhood by neighborhood 7-day outlook, and there you can see the chance for thunderstorms in the valley for tomorrow and Saturday, off and on rain all the way through at least the middle of next week. Probably longer than that, probably through all of next week. All right, so there's your north coast neighborhood forecast for both the coast and inland. We could see some thunderstorms, especially for the coast, as we go into your Saturday afternoon, maybe even the inland areas. But for Trinity County, your neighborhood forecast there, well, there, of course, you've got your temperatures dropping, snow levels down to 3,500 feet over the weekend. All right, let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast for Mount Shasta, your Modoc County, and, of course, your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast there. We are looking at, look at that. Those snow levels are going to be dropping over the weekend and then rising a little bit here as we take you into really the beginning of next week and even into the middle of next week. So those snow levels are going to be fairly high or getting higher. Probably won't, I think we're going to be looking at a decent chance of seeing some good snow out at the ski park. So that certainly will be good there as well. So yeah, maybe do some skiing over the weekend, but be prepared for the fact that there may be some chain requirements on Saturday in particular and even into Sunday. So getting up to the ski park may be a little bit of a concern for some of you, but overall shouldn't be too bad. Christina says, appreciate your program every morning. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate everybody watching. Let's get more people watching too. Good morning. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy that cup of coffee. I am right here. The best part of waking up is coffee in your cup. No promotions from Folgers. Brian saying good morning as well. All right. I want to remind everyone before we kind of get ready to kind of sign off here soon. I do want to remind you something I mentioned earlier in the broadcast here, and that is our friends over at K Shasta, Don and Heather in the mornings, are doing a great service for the St. Jude, and they're doing a radiothon. Finding Cures, Saving Children. This is for today and tomorrow. And you can call that 800 number on your screen there. And be sure to tell them, if you're talking to someone local, be sure to tell them Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal sent you. Love to get it, see if we can send some people over their way. They will, of course, be broadcasting the radiothon on 104.3. So be sure to tune in this morning and tomorrow morning. I don't believe they're going to be calling me this morning because they are doing the radiothon. So I will not be doing I may not. I might. I think he mentioned he might be calling me this morning. We'll see. But I might be on their radiothon for a short period of time, just kind of talking about the weather and helping promote their St. Jude radiothon. So again, when you're driving to work, getting the kids off to school, be sure to tune your car radio, that is, into 104.3 K Shasta. Find out more information about what they're doing there at that radiothon, and then you can get more information so you can help and make a donation as well. So just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that. Well, we are getting ready to wrap things up here this morning on Coffee with Krueger. We're going to take a look at a few cameras here to kind of wrap up your day here, or wrap up your morning. And we are going to start off, ooh, this is nice. We're going to leave you here with a picture from Crescent City Harbor District. Looks pretty nice. And then, of course, a few other images as well before we sign off. Thank you all so much for watching this morning, and we will see you tomorrow morning. It's a Friday tomorrow at 6:30 on Coffee with Krueger.